Hello, everybody. I'm Brian Hyrick, your VoIP expert here from VoIP Supply, and welcome to another episode of Sip Chats. Today, we have a very special guest. We have Ryan Zoehner of ALGO. How's it going, Ryan?
Good, Brian. How you doing?
Awesome, doing well. Hey, it was great seeing you at Channel Partners, and I know the ALGO booth was always packed. You guys got a lot going on, so that was very exciting. What are you guys seeing out there?
Yeah, no, it was great to see you, channel partners, and frankly, it's great to be back to live events and be back with everybody and meeting with customers. And I think that's generally what we're seeing. I think everybody's excited to be back, where we're seeing the return to office happen. And with the return to office, we're seeing more and more companies who are migrating their VoIP systems and looking to match the new hardware that they need to go in their VoIP system. So we're busy. I know the market's busy, and we're working with everyone as they're getting their offices set back up, making sure they have their paging, their intercom, their security solutions, whatever they need. We're busy helping these organizations get back into the office.
Absolutely. It was great to get that FaceTime in with clients, learn about their needs live in person, and actually show them, what's going on with Algo and tell them of the new solutions that you guys got. Um, I know there's a lot of different products that are new with Algo. Is there anything you would like to touch on and, inform our viewers about?
Yeah, sure. I think we got a few things going on. We've been busy at Algo, over the winter. That the engineering team's been busy on the innovation side. But first, maybe what I would just start on is a reminder of our satellite speakers. So we brought out the new technology, which we call satellite speaker technology. And what this allows us to do is you have one core main IP speaker. That IP speaker works as your traditional IP speaker, PoE or PoE plus. Plug that into your network. But what you can do is you can daisy chain and attach up to 3 additional speakers behind that. What that allows you to do is then with one drop, one spot on your network switch, one SIP license, you can have up to 4 speakers. It really brings down your cost, brings down your installation costs, your material costs, but different than maybe some other solutions, you retain most of the core benefits of your IP solutions. All of our speakers are supervisable, so that main IP speaker is not only powering the additional satellites, but it's supervising the additional satellites. And we've done some work with some large organizations where they're using these speakers for emergency notification, and supervisability becomes absolutely critical. The last thing you want in an emergency solution is that that speaker's not online, not working, and the ability for our speaker to be reporting back functionality, showing status online, and making sure everything's working is really, really important. So with the satellite speakers, we think we're bringing a lot of the benefits of IP, but we're helping bring down some of those costs, which we know can be a barrier to some customers. We have that available in ceiling speakers, which I got over here over this corner, and we got horn speakers as well. So the technology is available, variety of form factors.
That's awesome. That's what I was going to ask. So is that just in ceiling speakers or is that paging units? And I'd imagine too, we've been seeing it, I know, but for our viewers, the cost savings is significant now. It's really, really exciting that you guys have brought that to the table, and everyone from the end user to the reseller explaining the solution is very pumped about this.
Yeah, it's great. I think we're starting to see, customers really understand the opportunities there, which is great. And we're always helpful. We're always willing to kind of work with the customer and understand when is it best to use satellite technology? When is it best to use just a pure IP solution? There's a role for both in the market. And that's something we like to really work with the customers on, as I know you, Brian, and the team do over at VoIP Supply.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know your guys' visibility tools are bar none the best in the industry for what you guys do as well. So VoIP Supply appreciates that because it's an easier story to tell and a nice deliverable for our VARs to really take care of their customers and provide that sort of insight to their devices.
That's great. And I think a sneak peek, we're going to have some new exciting solutions on that coming out a little bit later this year. Potentially some cloud-based solutions that may be even more advantageous for your customers to really help monitor and manage their devices. It's something we're really focused on here. It's in the innovation pipeline, so more to come on that as well.
That's awesome. Hey, and at the booth, Ryan, I know you guys had something that's even more exciting. Clocks.
Yeah, we
Tell
got
us
it.
a bit about that.
Yeah, so we actually, I have one here beside me. Actually, I can pull it up and maybe show you. So we are bringing out this new product here, which is an IP display speaker. And first, Brian, I'll apologize. I can see my webcam is making it look like the screen is blurring a little bit, but I won't mention the webcam brand, but that's what's going on over here. What we have here is a all-in-one solution. So you have here a 15.6-inch LCD screen. You have a 3-speaker line array over here, and then you have your strobe solutions. And so we're bringing this out really thinking about communication where you want audible as well as visual communication going together. I'm showing here a simple clock. This is an example where we had a large school organization telling us that they need the ability to put digital clocks in some classrooms, analog clocks in some other classrooms. So you're seeing an analog clock, but you can really paint on this screen whatever you might need. You might put something like scrolling text across the screen. This might be for an emergency announcement. This might be for a general announcement. And really with the large screen, it gives you the ability to really customize and present what you'd like to come here. You can also complement your visual with audible. And I think I have an example here of what it might look like in a lockdown scenario. Where you might go into lockdown scenario, and I will pause it there and go back to all clear, where you might then put on the strobe lights, put on the speakers, put on the screen. I'm playing on a quieter volume here in the office, but it definitely can crank up the volume to get that alerting out. So this device we think is going to be really, really popular, especially in education environments where the need to put this in classrooms and hallways will be great. But we're also looking at manufacturing environments where you may be putting safety messages, messages how to get out of the building. And then we're looking at mass notification and wayfinding. So if an emergency alert has been triggered, using these screens to communicate which way out of the building, which way to safety. So there's a variety of options of how you can use this. It's really up to your imagination when you're trying to complement your audio paging environment with visual. This gives you the opportunity to really paint on this 15.6-inch screen a lot of different options on here.
It's really awesome. There's so much functionality in that screen, audio, visual, right? So I also think hospitality straight away, transportation, and really just overall office environments as well.
Lots of options for sure. And one of the things that we're excited about is we're bringing it out with the ability to have all the core algo features that you'd be familiar with. It's going to be a PoE Plus device, so it's really simple to install. Of course, it's SIP capable, multicast capable. Like all of the algo speakers, it'll have an embedded microphone to enable two-way talk or ambient noise detection, and then internal memory to upload files, pre-recordings, etc. So if you're familiar with the standard algo speakers, as you are, Brian, then all of those standard features you're familiar with are going to be embedded in here, but now you have a strobe light included and a screen included, which really just expands your options for communication.
Wow, that's phenomenal. Definitely excited for those speakers to come out and get those in my customers' hands, get some live feedback for you guys as well. But I think you hit a home run with those once again. So congrats to your engineering team and your development team on that. That's super awesome. You guys are always innovating and keeping yourself, at the top of the industry.
Appreciate that. And on the topic, the other thing that the team has been very busy with is the team's been busy on bringing out firmware upgrades. So a lot of the time, some of the biggest features that we add to the product, you may not see a new physical product, but we're embedding that into our products that currently exist. So the team's been busy bringing out new firmware releases, which bring new features, new functionalities to optimize products, give new capabilities. The new firmware releases that are out are firmware 4 and above. Have some great new features. They're available on the Algo website. They're shipping in the latest Algo products. But there's some great features that make it really easy for a lot of our customers, like one-step upgrades. So now if you're upgrading to firmware 4. Whatever and above, it's very simple. It's a one-step upgrade, and very seamlessly, you can upgrade your product to the latest firmware. You can have the latest features, and really, you're bringing your existing Algo product to the newest, latest, and greatest at no incremental cost. And that's something we really like to focus on, making sure we're bringing that out to the audience.
That's super impressive. And there's no additional licenses or anything like that to get firmware updates?
All free of cost. It's all available on the Algo website. Our technical support team is always happy to work with anyone to understand what's the latest in there. How can we work with you to make sure you understand how to get the most out of your product? And some of these new features in the products really can help optimize the performance and bring new capabilities to the existing infrastructure.
You just mentioned a few key words that our resellers and our customers always ask about: technical support. Talk to me.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's something we take very seriously at Algo. We think it's just as important to bring out a great product, but also to support our customers through that. So we have a dedicated team of engineers that work on our technical support line. Our team is always available to support yourself, your customers, the end users. whether it's something like a simple question on how do I change the volume or how do I adjust a feature, or really looking at an overall deployment and what might the right product be for me, how do I get that working. Our team will roll up our sleeves. We're happy to get your log files and work with you to make sure everything's working. Available 5 days a week here in the office and available 24/7 by appointment. So our team's available to work with anybody. And commonly what we'll recommend is if a team's going out for a large deployment and they want to ensure they have the algo technical support on our side, we can schedule a call in advance, make sure our team's ready while your reseller is out on site with the customer. So instead of spending time trying to figure something out, they can drop us that quick call. We can work with them, solve that problem in a couple minutes, and make sure they're back to work.
Wow, that's insane. Now, what are the costs associated with that?
Nothing. That's something free of charge. Our team is here and willing to work with you. That's something that we just like to bring as part of our brand promise, right? We want to make sure the product is working, not just working for us, but working for everybody. So our team is here, the technical support team, free of charge. You can call us anytime, work with us. Our team's happy to engage.
That's absolutely incredible. Bringing ALGO truly as a solution provider, not just, pushing brown boxes, I guess you would say. Ryan, I know you have a lot more exciting coming up. We'll save that for next SIP Chats with your software, as we had spoke about previously. Do you have anything else you'd like to add to our audience of SIP Chats today?
Yeah, no, I think just a lot more exciting stuff coming from Algo in the year to come. The innovation team is busy working, and we'll have more to come later in the year. I'll be more than happy to sit back down with you, Brian, and go through a lot of that. And then really just as I alluded to with technical support, our team is here to support, whether that's with design services, whether there's that pre-project consulting, or whether that's with technical support. We are more than happy to roll up our sleeves, work with your team, work with any of the resellers or the customers. Feel free to reach out to us at any time. We're more than happy to get involved in any projects that you may need our support on.
Incredible. Ryan, I know you're a busy guy, so we really at VoIP Supply appreciate all you do for us and taking the time out of your day today. Looks like you're back in the office, so that's awesome to see as well. And to the audience, if you like what you saw today and would like to continue this, or there's any questions for Ryan next time, drop a comment and click like, subscribe. We'd love to keep this going for you all. We appreciate all of the attention that you have been giving to us and all of your viewership as well. We really, really appreciate your support. So this is Brian Hyrick here at VoIP Supply. Ryan, thank you so much for your time again. We really value you.
Thank you so much, Brian. Good to be here.
No problem. And thanks for doing another episode of SIP Chats. And until next time, we'll catch you later.